100% they'll be able to think and they'll be able to feel emotions, because so those concepts of thought and feeling are human concepts. And to me, they'll be able to fake it. Therefore, they'll be able to do it. Like, I've been playing with Roombas a lot recently, Roomba vacuum cleaners. And so I've now started having Roombas scream, like there's like moaning in pain. And they became, I feel like they're having emotions. So like the faking creates the emotion. So the display of emotion is emotion to me. And then the display of thought is thought. I guess that's the sort of, everything else is, everything else is impossible to pin down. AI will suffer, and it's unethical to torture AI. But I believe suffering exists in the eye of the observer. Sort of like, if a tree falls and nobody's around to see it, it never suffered. It's us humans that see the suffering in the tree, in the animal, and our fellow humans. And sort of, in that sense, the first time a programmer with a straight face delivers a product that says it's suffering is the first time it becomes unethical to torture AI systems. And we can do that today. Like, I already built the Roombas. They won't sell currently, but I think the first time a Roomba says, please don't hurt me, that's when we start to have serious conversations about the ethics. And it sounds ridiculous. I'm glad this is being recorded, because it won't be ridiculous in just a few years. Yeah. I have much less worry. I see very much fewer paths to AGI systems killing humans than I do for AGI systems living among us. So I think I see exciting or not so exciting, but not harmful futures. I think it's very difficult to create AI systems that will kill people, that aren't like literally weapons of war. They're like, it'll always be people killing people. Like, the things we should be worried about is other people. That's the fundamental. So there's a lot of ways. Nuclear weapons. There's a lot of existential threats to our society that are fundamentally human at the core, and AI might be tools of that, but they'll be also tools to defend against that. I also see AI proliferating as companions. I think companionship will be a really interesting, like, we will more and more live as we already do in the digital world. Like, you have an identity on Twitter or Instagram, especially if it's anonymous or something. You have this identity you've created, and that will continue growing more and more, especially for people born now, that it's kind of this artificial identity that we live much more in the digital space. And in that digital space, as opposed to the physical space, is where AI can thrive much more currently. It'll thrive there first. And so we'll live in a world with a lot of intelligent first assistants, but also just intelligent agents. And I do believe they should have rights. And in this contentious time of groups fighting for rights, I feel really bad saying they should have equal rights, but I believe that. I've talked to, if you read the work of Peter Singer, of looking, I like, my favorite food is steak. I love meat, but I also feel horrible about the torture of animals. And that's the same kind of, to me, the way our society thinks about animals is a very similar way we should be thinking about robots, or we will be thinking about robots in, I would say, about 20 years.
So one final question.
Cool. Yeah.
Will they become our masters?
No, they will not be our masters. What I'm really worried about is who will become our masters are owners of large tech companies who use these tools to control human beings, first unintentionally and then intentionally. So we need to make sure that we democratize AI. It's the same kind of thing that we did with government. We make sure that we, at the heads of tech companies, if maybe people in this room will be heads of tech companies one day, we have people like George Washington who relinquished power at the founding of this country. Forget all the other horrible things he did, but he relinquished power as opposed to Stalin and all the other horrible human beings who have sought instead absolute power, which will be the 21st century. AI will be the tools of power in the hands of 25-year-old nerds.